Welcome everyone to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something really cool. We are going to demystify something absolutely truly powerful: how AI agents actually interact with your everyday workspace tools using n8n. We're moving out of the theory phase and jumping straight into the real world.
Look, we all know standard chatbots, right? You ask a question, they answer, they generate text, and hey, that's helpful, but it's kind of limited. But on the other side, a true AI agent, it actually acts. It's specifically designed to take concrete, real-world actions directly inside your digital environment. Okay, let's dive into the roadmap for today. We've got 4 stops. 1. From chatbots to AI agents. 2. Brain, hands, and safety button. 3. AI agents in action. And finally, 4. Security and human control.
Starting off with Section 1, from chatbots to AI agents.
Think about this shift for a second. Going from merely chatting to actually acting transforms your AI from just an advisor into an actual employee. An AI's true value isn't just spitting out text anymore. It becomes concrete the second it can read your incoming emails, make a decision based on that data, and then physically act across platforms like Slack or Google Calendar to execute a task from start to finish.
Which brings us to Section 2, brain, hands, and the safety button.
So, how does this actually work mechanically? I absolutely love this metaphor. Think of an AI agent like a digital worker. The large language model, or LLM, is the brain. It's doing the thinking, parsing the data, and strategizing. Then the n8n nodes and APIs, well, those are the hands. They execute the actual physical work inside your apps. And human validation, that is your safety button, making sure the whole system stays securely under your control.
But here's the thing. For those hands to actually reach into your apps, they need a doorway. Enter the API. In really simple terms, an API is just a specific gateway that allows one application, like n8n, to securely talk to another application, like your Gmail or a Postgres database. Without APIs, well, the brain is just trapped in a box.
So exactly how does the brain tell the hands what to do? It uses this really precise decision-making loop. Check this out. First, a user makes a request. Second, the LLM analyzes it and decides, hey, do I need an external tool for this? Third, n8n executes that specific tool, or API, out in the real world. Fourth, the result of that action is fed right back to the LLM. And finally, the LLM generates a complete response based on that actual real-world data.
All right, let's get to the fun part. Section 3, AI agents in action.
We are going to blitz through 7 highly practical workflows today. We'll be moving fast, showing you exactly how these agents go from a simple trigger to executing a highly complex action.
So here's a bird's eye view of the whole shebang. Notice the incredible variety of triggers here. But I really want you to pay close attention to that right-hand column, the risk level. This is absolutely vital. Different actions carry fundamentally different risks. Having an AI summarize the news, that's a low-risk task. But giving an AI the power to just go ahead and delete calendar events, that is a high-risk operation for sure.
Let's look at our first workflow, email support. Imagine a customer shoots over an email asking, "Hey, where is my order 431?" The Gmail trigger receives this message. Then, the primary agent, which is powered by Gemini here, looks up the order data and drafts a reply. Gmail sends it off, and finally, the agent meticulously logs the entire interaction into a Google Sheet for your records. And it happens completely automatically. Now, notice this specific n8n node setup we're using here, particularly that GPT fallback. This workflow is beautifully designed. If the Gemini brain finds a customer query a little too complex, or if it just fails to process it, it seamlessly switches over to an open AI brain to try again. It makes your agent incredibly resilient. It's a real game changer.
Moving on to lead response. Picture this. A new lead, let's call her Sarah, drops in with a $10,000 budget. She submits her info, and that creates a new row in Google Sheets. Boom, the trigger fires. The agent's hands instantly spring into action. OpenAI drafts Sarah a highly personalized email, scores her as a high-value lead, sends the email via Gmail, and simultaneously pings your sales team right in Slack with all the details.
And this next one brilliantly illustrates how an agent can be your ultimate intelligent gatekeeper. In this webhook triage workflow, a website form sends inbound data securely via a webhook. The AI acts just like a receptionist. It evaluates the urgency, analyzes the sentiment, filters out all the spam, and then intelligently routes the legitimate, high-priority requests straight to your team's Slack while just sending standard inquiries a helpful auto-reply via Gmail.
I've actually grouped these next 2 examples together, the calendar and database workflows, because they represent such a massive leap in usability. By connecting these tools, you literally don't need to write code anymore. You just ask your AI in plain English, schedule a team sync for tomorrow at 10 a.m., or show me the top 10 products sold this month. And the AI just translates your natural language into complex API calls or SQL queries on the fly. No way, right? It's that easy.
Our last example showcases a totally proactive workflow. Instead of waiting around for an external trigger like an email, this agent acts autonomously on a set schedule. Every single morning, it runs an HTTP request to scrape the web for tech news, filters out all the noise, distills the best articles into 3 really neat bullet points, and then drops that summary right into your Slack workspace. It's basically your personal morning researcher, doing all the heavy lifting before you've even had your coffee.
Now, we need to talk guardrails, Section 4, security and human control.
Because, look, giving an AI hands to interact with your live business data is a serious responsibility. You really have to contrast the risks here. On the left side, we have read-only access, like letting the AI read a Google Sheet to give you some analytics. This is generally super safe. It's just analytical. But over on the right side, giving an AI permission to write to a production database or actually delete your calendar events carries extreme risks. That side must always be heavily guarded.
So, here are your 3 non-negotiable rules for agent governance. Rule number 1. Always use n8n's human-in-the-loop feature as your safety button for those high-impact actions. Let the AI draft the email or queue up the deletion, but you are the one who clicks approve. Rule number 2. Enforce the principle of least privilege. Only give the AI the exact permissions it needs to do the job and not a single thing more. And rule number 3. Always protect your webhooks with API keys so malicious actors absolutely cannot trigger your agents.
Well, we have covered a ton of ground in this explainer, going from the brain of the language model to the hands of n8n executing real work directly in your apps. The technology is here, it's incredibly powerful, and as long as you've got the right guardrails in place, it is highly accessible. So the only question left for you is, which tool are you going to give your AI today? Get out there, start building your own agent safely, and stay curious. Thanks so much for joining me.